If
All
you
right.
can, I see it right there. Yeah. This way I get a copy. Why not? I can, send it out to the world. And
Okay.
I know Linda Marcus Smith. That's worth, you know, the keys to the Taj Mahal right there. I remember when.
Yes,
You
I
got my
remember when I remember when Jackie Onassis and Diana, Princess Di sat in front of the Taj Mahal.
There you go. There you
They
go.
made it fashionable.
Hmm. Exactly. Never got out
Okay,
there. Yes.
me neither. Let's let the world get to know us at the
All
same time.
right. Sounds like a plan. I got my giraffe tie on tonight, so
I like to put the camera on you because
that's
you're the
fine.
guest. So,
That's why
hey, what's that, Bruce?
I said that's why I've gotten dressed up. Uh,
Okay, Facebook world, look who's here. He's surviving the COVID-19 flu. Right, Bruce?
That's right. 5 weeks and counting.
Bruce Lipsky from New York. He's in the thick of things. And there have been days when you didn't know if you're going to make it, right?
Right. And the first 3 days, it was really touch and go. In fact, I found out afterwards that my son and my wife were staring at me half the night, making sure that I
Wow.
was, conscious, basically. Yes. Yeah, it was very scary. Very scary. Yeah.
Yes.
I got past those days, and I was fortunate enough to have a good friend in town who's a doctor. And I have a chance, I'll explain all that in minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's no joke what's going on. We're very removed from the tragedies in New York and
Right.
New
Right.
Jersey.
Absolutely. In fact, a good friend of mine across the street lost her mother. So it kind of hit home. When I first started feeling ill, I immediately called my doctor's office and they said, come in, but they wouldn't see me in the office. They met me in the parking lot because I had a fever.
Wow.
Yes, they were in the hazmat suits and everything. So they tested me and everything, and they said 3 to 5 day turnaround. Trouble is, it took 10 days to get the turnaround. In the meantime, they said take Tylenol and for the symptoms, but they didn't even know that they were treating. So I have a good friend in town who's a physician, and I live in a very small town. It's like Mayberry RFD. Everybody
Yeah.
knows each other. So he said, Bruce, I see you're hurting over here. I'll tell you what I'll do. It's a Thursday. My office is closed. I'll open it up for you. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to drop a hazmat suit off at your front porch. I want you to walk through town with this hazmat suit on and come to my office. I'll take a chest x-ray and also take some blood and listen to your lungs. So imagine me walking down Main Street where everybody knows you with a hazmat suit on. It was like Chernobyl. People were running out,
Wow.
running away from me. But thankfully, my lung functions were good and my chest x-ray was negative. So that was a good thing. So, but my doctor felt that I really did have the disease, even though I didn't have the official results yet. So he started treating me for it. Then eventually the results came in and it was positive. So then the decision had to come to what's the next steps? Because I was taking the regular drugs that they were prescribing, but they said that maybe you should start taking the anti-malarial. And there's a lot of side effects with that they're not even sure of. Because the typical person who takes that for whatever disease they have takes one a day. They wanted to load me up with 4 1 day, two the next day, two the next day. So basically, you're taking anywhere between twice the amount or 4 times the amount. And they were worried about the side effects. So I said, what's my best chance of getting better? And he said, definitely take this. So I sucked it up. I hadn't filled a prescription, but I didn't have the nerve to take it the first day.
Yeah.
He warned me about the side effects. So I kind of manned up the next day and I said, I have to do this because I feel like crap over here. It's 3 weeks now, but 2.5 weeks,
Yeah.
I'm getting better. Dizzy, lightheaded, nauseous, headaches, weakness, throwing up, dry heaves. You can name any symptom you possibly think of. A really deep, dry cough. You know,
Yes.
I couldn't sleep sitting down. I couldn't sleep standing. I couldn't sleep in a chair. Had no appetite, so I lost like 7 pounds in the first 3 days. So but slowly things started to come back, but the symptoms have still lingered for 7 weeks. But my doctor said it could take a few more weeks, and they don't even know themselves. But the key thing, as long as my lungs are clear, that's the most important thing. And he also said you have to stay active. This disease wants you to lay back and basically die. And a lot of the people who are suffering on this disease tend to be those who are overweight, diabetic, have heart disease, and heavy. And as I said, overweight, so they're laying around not doing anything. So I got
Yeah.
up, started motivating myself to walk my dog more. And also, you can't see it, but in the background over here, I'm sitting in my little home gym where I have a treadmill, so
Oh.
yeah, so I'm on that every day. So I become the poster boy for, trying to get fit. But it's interesting because all through this COVID virus situation, at home, it's kind of switched things around. For example, 2 weeks ago was the first time I actually had dinner with my wife in the dining room. You know, we hadn't seen each other really because she's relegated to the basement. My son is relegated to a different part of the house. So I'd be sitting upstairs in one half of the house, and one night I was sitting in a rocking chair and had a blanket around me, and it looks out to my driveway. And my wife was coming down the driveway walking the dog, and she looked up. She saw me there. So next thing you know, she's texting me saying, Bruce, you look like Norman Bates's mother from Psycho. And so I basically texted her back and I said, wait a second, she's been dead for 2 years. She's rotting in a chair. This is what you think of me, So there's some weird scenarios coming out of it. And then on top of that, she decides to clean out her closets. She has a lot of time now. She used to work for a big bank, Fortune 500 company, and she had a lot of business suits, but she's been retired for 8 years now. So she sent me a text and said, Bruce, I cleaned out my closet except for two things. I'd saved 2 black dresses.
She saved what?
2 black dresses.
Oh my God.
And I texted her back, and I understand probably why you saved those 2 black dresses, but I'm sitting here with the COVID virus. I don't want to hear this, I said, next thing, did you increase the insurance policy on me as well, the double indemnity? This is how my wife's thinking over here. So it's there's a lot of stuff happening. And we have a dog, as I just mentioned before. And again, I'm sitting in my crow's nest, I call it, with a rocking chair, blanket over me, feeling sorry for myself. Next thing I know, pulling into the driveway is a mobile dog grooming truck.
There's a what?
A mobile dog grooming truck pulled into my driveway.
Oh,
It was called the Rough Life, RUFF. And I said, wait a second. So I texted back to my wife. I said, what's going on here? She said she booked a grooming session for the dog.
what in the world?
I said, wait a second. I'm sitting in this chair for 3 weeks or so. I haven't shaved. I haven't showered on a regular basis. My best feeling is slapping cologne on my face, and you're spending $150 pampering the dog. I said, what about me? So she said, I understand that. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. She said, if you want, I'll give you a haircut. All right? All right. So I've gone through a lot of emotions through this whole disease, but I think the most scared I've ever been is when my wife said she wants to give me a haircut. So she pulled out the electric knife, the garden shears, and the poultry scissors. And I said, wait a second, those poultry cutters, those are the ones that you butcher, carve the turkey with, aren't they? Well, actually, tomorrow is the day she's going to give me a haircut. And so I'm almost hoping I can get it taped because it's going to be hysterical. Because she has no cutting experience. And I can just imagine these garden shears, what they'll be doing to me, Not my ears right now. I have 2 ears, right? So.
Yeah, right now you do.
Right. And
Tomorrow
she's
you might be doing an impression of Van Gogh.
Van Gogh, exactly.
Right,
right now she's reading the manual on how to cut hair. So the YouTube video. Crazy.
Oh,
Crazy. But it's been okay. I understand what's going on. I have a better handle on things, I think, now. Still, at the end of the day, you're scared because let's face it, this is a disease that not too many people understand, and it's a crapshoot. But according to my doctor, things seem to be good. They also loaded me up on mega vitamin D. They felt that vitamin D is good for lung function. I was taking 200,000 units a day, which is like, probably 10 times the amount you should be taking. So they had to do a follow-up blood test on me, and they found my vitamin D levels were off the charts as they expected. So they took me off all medicines, all vitamin D, and they're waiting for that to come down right now. I'm trying to get some some levels that my body can really resist and fight off this stuff.
Jeez.
Yeah, but I've had this disease so long that my antibodies have antibodies, you know. And I've got people lining up around my house like crack addicts wanting my antibodies. Yeah. So yeah, interesting stuff. And you know, also now you're shut in more than you normally used to. We're shut in. We're not really shopping as much, so we're ordering food online to be delivered.
Yes.
And we have some place called Stop and Shop, which is a big supermarket, and they have a service called Peapod, which is their delivery service. So when you go online to order food, you order, let's say, vegetables, whatever it may be, you know, regular toiletries. There's a proviso on there that says we have the right to substitute should it not be in stock. Okay. So the other day, my zucchini turned into a rhubarb. And I said, don't even know what a rhubarb is, you know?
Just a second, Bruce.
No problem.
Facebook kicked me off. Facebook Live went to my home screen.
Okay.
So I have to go back in and ask to get back on Facebook Live.
No problem.
It's not you and me, it's Facebook is doing this.
What happens is the web is so overwhelmed now, you know, with everybody doing these things.
And now it's not even showing Facebook Live is available.
Huh?
So I can wait a minute here and we can just talk and see if it
Sure.
says status, but it doesn't
Right.
say Facebook Live.
All right, no problem. Hey, you know, if we have to do this over another time, we do it over another time. I'm well rehearsed now.
What's
I'm well
that?
rehearsed now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're all rehearsed up now.
Exactly,
So,
exactly.
I'm
So-
sorry it did that. Let's wait and see if it comes back.
I don't take it personally. It's all right.
The last time I did an interview last hour at 5 o'clock, we got 3/4 of the way through the interview and then it kicked us off. And then
Right.
5 minutes later, it came back just fine.
That's okay. I've been thrown out of worse places.
Oh my gosh. So let's talk about, I'll check it in a minute. How are you doing?
Oh, you know, as I mentioned before, this disease is kind of funky. You know, you're dealing with two things. You're dealing with the physical part of it, you know, trying to battle that, you know, and you're also dealing with the mental, you know, because, you know, there's a lot of what if scenarios here, you know. Do they really understand this disease? Or you look at the news, or you read, or you look at, you know, read the newspaper, and what do you see? This thing shutting down, the death toll here, that thing there. My wife gets bulletins on the phone. Okay, you're number 47 on the list of people having the disease in the town. It's up to 260 people now. You know, so town around us has 3,000 people with the disease. Whatever it is, the numbers are staggering and it's scary. Well, everybody knows somebody who's a nurse or a doctor in town, and they're saying that they're going crazy. You know, they're working 12 or 16-hour shifts, and they're dealing with all this. They're dealing with, you know, people coming in really, really sick. So I have to thank my lucky stars. Say, yes, I'm sick, but I've avoided the hospital. And that was very scary. The first day that I had to walk through town with that hazmat, my doctor friend said, you know, I'm going to do your chest x-ray and listen to your lungs. If I find that the chest x-ray is cloudy or whatever, be prepared. You know, you're going right to the hospital. You know, so I was really anxious because, hey, that's the last place you want to be. But
I wouldn't go there if I was dying right now.
Absolutely. Again, sometimes you have no choice. I think what helped me out a lot too is that I've always been physically active. You know, prior to this getting sick, I'm on my treadmill 3 miles a day. I'm doing my regular exercises. I have a good diet. Now, after that, everything got forgotten. You know, they changed my diet, and they had me eating more eggs, more fatty foods. Had craving carbohydrates, and that's not stuff I normally eat. You know, so that threw me off completely too. But I look at it this way. You know, it's a process that I had to follow to get to the point where hopefully I'm stabilized enough that I can get over the curve and basically, as I said before, enter the human race again and feel like I'm being productive. It's, you know, there comes times where you sit in the chair and you just can't move. And that's what I told you before, that's what the virus really wants to grip on you and say, hey, Bruce, don't move. That's the time you got to get up. And that's why I said, I'm lucky I have my treadmill over here. I have the dog, and my son has been getting me out there more, even sitting on the front porch, getting the fresh air. It's a lot of that is so important because that's a social aspect too. Even
Yeah,
see,
and that,
even seeing people that I know from town, even if it's 6 feet away or 10 feet away, doesn't make a difference, you know? Yeah.
yes.
I walked through town today and I was waving at the shop owner, you know, and they were like thumbs up. I can't go into the stores, but they all know that I have this crazy disease. But we all have challenges, you know, and I've been challenged before my car accident, and you know, that was many years ago, but that, essentially that was a life death situation too, and thankfully, you've been through your challenges too, so you know what that's like, and you rise to the occasion. The body is an amazing thing, and as they say, with lemons you make lemonade. You got a frozen face now. Can you hear me? Yep, that's me. Are you there? Hello? I'll wait for you to come back.